Right, good morning. You can see the sun shining. Look at the frost over there. I've just been practicing up in my flat Wednesday morning, 3 AM, that lovely little tinkly ballad by Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. But it's not actually Wednesday morning. It's look at all this frost around here. It's pretty cold. The sun's just peeking up here. Now it's Saturday morning and it's about 7 AM, just before 7 AM, and the reason why I'm out so early, because I don't normally come out this early. I'm just looking round because apparently today, I can't see it, I could see it last night, there's a supermoon. Yeah, a supermoon. Now this supermoon is supposed to be quite a little bit bigger in the sky. I think it must have gone down now. Yeah, it's the closest the moon has been to the Earth in about, I don't know, 20 odd years or something like that. So it's the moon's at its closest orbit, or point in orbit, for I think they said about 20 odd years. So it don't happen too often, and I thought I'd come out and catch a glimpse of the supermoon, but I think I've missed it. Yeah, can't see it on the horizon. There's a bit of a frost about, so I'm thinking it's only about 1 or 2 degrees, if that. It feels pretty chilly, but it's going to be a nice day like it was yesterday apparently. It's going to be a nice weekend. I'm going to walk along here, see if the supermoon appears behind the trees, but while I'm going, I was going to do a talk this morning, and as I'm out here, I might as well do it now. Because you might wonder why I've been silent about all this that's going on in the Middle East. Well, I did say a thing or two while I was over in Benidorm, but I haven't posted that stuff. But you know what's going on. Tunisia, some guy, I think it was a student, set himself on fire, and that seemed to set the whole of the Middle East on fire. Tunisia in Egypt, Tunisia fell, the president had been there for about 30 odd years, he scarpered with not a few million bob, and then in Egypt where Mubarak, he'd been in power for about 32 years as well, he said, oh, I'm not going to go, the country needs me. Within about 3 weeks, pressure from the United States and the rest of the kind of Western world, Mubarak went. Nobody thought he was going to go. He was one of the moderate leaders. He wasn't the kind of extreme. Not that he stopped at torturing people and prisoning his opposition and stuff like that. That's what you call moderation. What they mean by moderation is he didn't just decapitate everybody and kill them all. He was a bit more tolerant. You know, he just put them in prison and tortured them. That's all. So he's gone, and now, of course, in the news, the big news, hey, look, they've been doing a bit of gardening along here. That looks nice. So someone's trying to sell their property. That sign's in the wrong place. There's ducks over there. You know, I ought to get out here this time in the morning a bit more, because it's really quite nice. Yeah. Anyway, the big news now, because it's March, isn't it? It's March now, the 20... not the 20th, it's the 19th today. Red Nose Day yesterday. Red nose. What do they mean by red nose? Yeah, I got this nose upside down. Comet relief. March the 18th, 2011. I think they made a record amount of money, about £77 million. I did my little bit for that. We went to the school. Oh, the sun's poking through here. It's quite nice. And they painted this bridge all up. You know, I was filming them doing that all along here. This is where I released those spiders. Just along here. Anyway, what am I saying? This bridge looks good. So, I raised a little bit, I think about £40 odd for comet relief, but they made £77 million, and some of the film they were showing you Kenya and Africa and different places, and people in this country who needed help and things. He's about to pull on your heartstrings. That David Tennant, he was nearly tearing up, wasn't he? Good actor, isn't he? So that's good. They raised all this money for comic relief, and I finally got one of these. I went into Sainsbury's to get one of these day before yesterday for, you know, the comic relief shenanigans. I was at Chilwell School, and they didn't have any of these ones, these pirate ones. My guess is that they was the most popular ones. And I didn't buy one of the other ones, even though I wanted to support the, you know, the effort. I thought, well, I'm not going to buy it if I don't want it. Anyway, now what we've got in, I'm going to go back in a minute because I could do, if there's not too much information I could do with using the toilet. But now in, talking of toilets, now in Libya, that's it, in Libya, you got this mow 'em all down Gaddafi, yeah, who's been killing his own people left, right and centre, and all the people who's, you know, not in favour of Gaddafi. There's birds flying through there. There's the ducks. Let's have a quick look at the ducks down here. Oh, that's nice and tranquil. Yeah, all the people that's not in favour of Gaddafi have revolted. Yeah, like they did in Egypt, you know, and they was demonstrating and stuff like that. They actually in Libya, they've taken over some of these key cities and even some of the oil refineries. And Gaddafi, who looks like to be a one brick short of a house, was sending all his troops and mercenaries over to kill, you know, kill the opposition. Anyway, the Western world and America seem to be sitting around twiddling their thumbs, you know, watching all these people being, well, first quite jubilant because they've taken over a few of these cities. I can't remember the names of the places. You know, watch the news, you know, they'll tell you there. And they was quite jubilant. But then Gaddafi started striking back, and his son, what is it, Saeed or something? He seems like a real head case. Anyway, his son, they said, oh, we're gonna, you know, kill all the infidels. Gaddafi's got a lovely turn of phrase. He says, calls the rebels, which is what the BBC's calling them. Oh, it was they was interviewing a Bahraini woman. That's another place. What was that? Not Moira Stewart, was that? Oh, I've forgotten the name of that woman who was really annoying sometimes on the Radio 4 Today programme in the morning. Sarah someone. Anyway, she was calling this woman in Bahrain, because that's another place where they've got problems, and in Yemen, South Yemen, they killed about 40 odd people yesterday, and they've been killing them, you know, over the last month or so. Anyway, that got up the nose of this lady in Yemen. This doctor she was, intelligent lady. She says, we're not rebels, we're fighting for our freedom, for a future, for our children, for our country. We're not rebels. It's blooming the government in Bahrain, the ruling Sunni monarchy. They're the ones that's destroying the country. We're not the rebels. Anyway, getting back to Libya, that Gaddafi, you know, he called people who were against him, you know, sons of dogs, blooming crack, drug addicts and Al-Qaeda and stuff like that. All the names under the sun, sons of cockroaches, real squashy like bugs and all that kind of thing. You know, you got to admire the language even if you don't admire what he's doing. Terrible fella. Anyway, the Americans find it actually, last thing I'll say, because I've said enough already, that Obama, everyone's criticising Obama, saying what a vacillator, fence-sitter, blooming kind of dithering, non-committal person he was. But, you know, it turns out he played the situation just right. Because, you know what would have happened if the Americans had said, right, let's go in and bomb the hell out of Libya, and blooming Gaddafi, he's out of order, which he is. Everybody would have been up in arms. These American imperialist, colonialist, blooming dictators. You know, everybody would be burning the American flags and stabbing images of blooming Obama. That would have happened straight away, you know. But what they did, they hang back. Hillary Clinton, you know, the foreign secretary for the Americans, and back, until the Arab League finally galvanised themselves and say, through the United Nations, they want a blooming no-fly zone, which of course they've been calling for about the last 3 weeks in Libya. There's Gaddafi's just been picking his people off and he's shooting them all down, blooming airplanes. So the Arab League came up with, they wanted this no-fly zone. They put together a proposal with France, I think, and Britain, blooming Cameron getting himself in the limelight. He's done alright for himself as Cameron. But the Americans, they was hanging right back. They wasn't saying nothing. Except that, they thought Gaddafi should go and all that. Then suddenly, just last couple of days, the Security Council was debating whether they was going to have this no-fly zone and whatever. And sun coming up. And the Americans suddenly falling behind all of the political activity in the United Nations. And say, yeah, we're in favour of this if all the Arab League people are going to be in it, and if it's going to be a coalition and everything, we'll come behind it. And they suddenly jack the whole thing up, so it's not much more than a no-fly zone. They can use all necessary force to stop blooming Gaddafi from bombing his own people. And so everybody's saying, oh, yippee, the Americans are on board, instead of them blooming Americans, why are they taking over the world? So Obama's played it just right, hasn't he? And maybe it's a bit late though, because Gaddafi, even though he said he's going to have a ceasefire, yeah, when they said, all right, we're gonna stop you, he says, all right, we're going to have a ceasefire. He's still attacking him. He's still shooting his people and killing them and all that. So I don't know. I think not a minute too soon, this no-fly zone. Wednesday morning, 3 AM. No sign of the supermoon, but the sun's certainly coming up. Bye for now.